What's good? We back. It's the Box Clink and more. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to the YTBC. We working. Y'all know. Back on that boxing grind as usual. And it's probably gonna be my longest point of view video that I've done with a hypothetical matchup that look like it really may happen. And you could tell before I started, Danny Garcia is a person that listens to the press clips and he hears what the fans saying with his Snapchats and him telling how much he makes and stuff like that. People forget he a dude that came from the bottom. He wasn't a media darling. He wasn't a promoter's darling. He a dude that just kept winning and kept moving up and with a blue collar mentality and worked his way up. And now he got a taste of the flaming young, and now he wants to stay in that elite, class. And now he's speaking like a guy that's made it. He's speaking like a guy that's comfortable. I made a video saying that I think he should retire because, what people don't understand, when you don't love what you do no more, you don't have the hunger to continue to seek out the biggest competition, you don't want to compete no more. It's tough. It's tough to compete in a sport. And I know a lot of people that play sports, was competitive with sports, not just, just intramural type stuff or, just playing around. When you competitive, man, when you lose that fire to play or compete, it's and when you love the sport, any sport, it's a part of your life. It's what you live, breathe, eat. That's the first thing you think about when you wake up. It's all you want to do. When you stop wanting to do that, and I don't want to do that. Maybe that's why Danny took that break, and now he's ready to get back and stop trying to test the water. He want to get all the way in the water and stop and get real. And him and Errol, to be honest, this is a perfect fight for Danny Garcia. This is a fight that's out the norm as far as him with when he steps up in fights ever since the Matisse fight. Herrera, Peterson, and Guerrero moved a little bit on him. He tends to, get problems with guys that give him a lot of movements and angles that you don't have to be the most athletic guy, but if you know how to maneuver around the ring, that tends to give Danny Garcia issues. Errol Spence not going to do that. Errol Spence going to come straight to your wheelhouse and is going to give a gifted counterpuncher like Danny Garcia all the opportunity he wants to be able to check Errol Spence's chin. And what people get lost in the sauce is the fact that Danny Garcia has one of the better chins in boxing. So if Errol Spence is able to knock out and, beat down Danny Garcia or make Angel or the referee throw the white towel and the ref stop it, that's a major statement for Errol Spence. But I can see where Danny can have some success with Errol Spence. And I know a lot of people will say, how Spence beat Peterson, how, Garcia barely beat Peterson. Two styles make fights. Peterson didn't, Peterson couldn't move on Errol Spence like he did on Danny because Danny doesn't know how to cut the ring off. That's the one thing that I noticed with Danny. He don't know how to cut the ring off, therefore he can't close the distance on guys that know how to maneuver and move around the ring. So that's the issue. But if you got a guy like Errol Spence that's going to come to you and sit right in the middle of the ring, Danny Garcia is going to have the opportunity to be able to fully showcase his potential and his talents and whatever you got left. That's what I mean when our potential. I mean, Earl is going to be there swinging, and we're going to be able to see if Danny can, actually counter Errol Spence. We're going to have a lot of opportunities, but it's difficult, counter a guy and sitting in the lion's mouth when a guy's consistently just peppering you and working you and mentally on you 100%. Now with Keith Thurman didn't mentally stay on or physically or mentally pressure Keith Thurman 100%. He moved around and bought time. Errol Spence is going to be there, working you every minute of the round. He's indicative of working every round and bringing his hard hat and his lunch pail and just ready to wear you out. But he gives you opportunities to counter and hit him. He's hittable, for the most part because he's very offensive. And, I think Danny is a solid body puncher. I think Danny brings some body punching and that counter, no look left hook. I think that's going to be very important. And it'd be interesting to see if Earl can deal with Danny's counter punching ability, if Danny can land flush or if Danny can deal with the heat and that while, Earl is working in his wheelhouse. But one thing that worries me in this fight for Danny Garcia is the improvement of Errol Spence's jab. When you put that jab on Danny, you're able to make him stationary and, not able to counter. Because when you put that jab, it throws off a fighter's rhythm. That's why the jab is so important. It throws the fighter's rhythm off, and it helps you range fine. You know, when you're able to hit him with the jab, that kind of gives you reassurance. Oh, I know where he gonna move at. I know I can hit him. My jab is holding him in place, so my jab can touch him. Now I feel that I can turn it into a check hook. I can put the right hand behind it. I can hook the right hand. The jab is kind of assurance that, you know what, I know where he's gonna be at. I feel his movement, and you know, now guys are starting to put their lead hand as their strong hand, and they starting to make that jab into a power punch, and then hooking off the jab is very, very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? But I think Errol Spence is one of those guys that's a converted southpaw. I think he keeps his strong hand in front. Don't quote me. I think I did hear that, but it's an excellent fight. You know, would I want to see this fight before Danny and Sean Porter? Yeah. Would I want to see this fight before, you know, Errol and Sean? Yeah, I definitely would. I think Danny brings a certain, you know, fan base with him. The Barclays Centers. I mean, it's another fight where people underestimate Danny Garcia. And if Danny Garcia is able to upset Errol Spence, which in my opinion is not outside the realm of possibility, people forget Danny is a talented fighter in his own right. And this ain't a guy that's gonna be moving. Danny's gonna have opportunities to land on Errol Spence the way he has not got an opportunity to land on other welterweights. But you know, he got one a better chance, and this is a good test for Errol Spence. You know, the durability of Danny Garcia, the granite chin of Danny Garcia, the counterpunching ability of Danny Garcia, the publicity that Danny Garcia brings. This is what he needs. This is a fight that he really needs. This is a fight that should fall on regular CBS or regular Fox. And this is a fight that can kind of catapult Errol to the next level. And Danny has enough time, you know, if he beats Rios the way we think he's going to beat Brandon Rios February 17th, which is next weekend, I think, or something like that. If he can beat Brandon Rios the way we think, he could turn around and fight Errol in June and prove his point. You know, it's not, you know, don't talk tough, Danny, and turn around and, you know, don't want to fight Errol. You know, but at the end of the day, if he cops out, the only way he really can cop out and save face, which he don't care about saving face, the only way he can cop out and save face is facing Sean Porter. We already did a hypothetical of that last week, so I won't get into that. But you know, this is what Danny Garcia want. You know, should want. You ain't got to worry about fighting a guy Keith Thurman that's gonna run around the ring like people say or move a lot. Got to worry about fighting Lamont Peters, who gonna move a lot. Worry about fighting Mauricio Herrera, who gonna move a lot. This is a guy that's coming to you, and we know what Errol gonna do. You know, Errol's probably gonna work that Danny Garcia body the way it never been worked before. You know, put that jab right down Danny Garcia. A guard, and he gonna be punching. And if Garcia can stand and lie him off the way he did with Lucas Matisse, he gonna have some opportunities, like I told you guys, to hurt Errol Spence and hit Errol Spence flush. And I think just as much as people, you know, thought about Matisse was able to knock Danny Garcia out, and we found out what type of chin that Danny Garcia had, I think we're gonna find out what type of chin that you know, what type of power, what type of, you know, durability, what type of, you know, mental fortitude Errol Spence had in this fight. Now, this is really going to tell me if Errol Spence is really that rag dog, you know, drag you around the ring and knock you out. If he's able to decapitate Danny Garcia any way, shape, or fashion like he did with Lamont Peterson, I really started to think that people that's you know, followers of Keith Thurman is going to start looking at him type of different. You know, don't let him get Sean Porter in the ring after this before Keith Thurman, and he dragged Sean Porter as well. And I think it's going to be, you know, consensus, unanimous, that people are going to start saying, there ain't no way Keith Thurman can beat this guy. And I think it started with Danny Garcia. If he's able to drag Danny Garcia out and knock him out before the 12th round, or just beat him down and throw the towel out where he quits or TKO, and Danny's Philly tough. He's one of the last of them Philly guys that's Philly tough, that's cut from that cloth, you know. And if he's able to drag Danny Garcia out, which I don't think he's going to drag Danny Garcia out the way he did Peterson. It's a totally different type of fighter than Danny Garcia. Because style makes fights, so you can't compare Peterson and Danny. But if he does, and he's able to stump Danny Garcia out like a Newport 100, you done smoking. You know, the hype that y'all think that's hype. You know, people don't like Errol Spence, and at one point in time, I thought it was hype. I think the hype become trill. I think it become authentic. I think it become real. I think people that talk about Terrence Crawford go look at him different. Like, I don't know if Crawford can handle that beating, you know. And this is the fight that Errol wants, you know, that Errol needs to get a good, durable guy that was a top guy at 140, that seems to be a pretty strong guy at 147, a guy that people really don't like because he ain't been, you know, keeping people updated what he was doing last year. People seeing him as a duck, And he didn't tell people or the excuse that he used that he took the year off and Al told him to go enjoy his life. People didn't get that communication from him. They just got that, he told Sean to send a contract, and then the fight that didn't get made, and people want to see Danny Garcia shut down. But to me, I think Garcia has somewhat of a chance. I said it before. I know people on social media, like he did say before, I still think Danny Garcia got a chance. But like I said, I would favor Errol Spence pretty heavy. But it wouldn't surprise me because Danny is that special type of fighter, and it seems to be the year for Philadelphia. But like I said, if Errol drags Danny Garcia, I mean, the hype becomes trill. You don't know what trill is? It's the mixture of the word truth and real. I think people start looking at him different. People start thinking like nobody else at 47 got a chance. So y'all know what I'm talking about.